Guys who were big in the horse industry lost out to the car industry. That's technology. Guys who made CDs are finished because digital downloads are here. So, if people don't adapt and rely on protectionism and closing their borders, eventually they will perish. I don't think there's any company in the Philippines or Malaysia or Indonesia that can't compete with big boys. And the big boys should learn a little bit from the young guys. All right, you look at Grab car, Grab taxi, who's competing with Uber. Uber's got so much money, it's ridiculous. But Grab taxi is competing, right? They're not saying block Uber. At the same time, Gojek in Indonesia has brought out a better service than Uber using motorbikes, right? So I don't believe in, it's the old guys who've been used to their cozy little monopolies who prevent Filipinos or Malaysians or Thais or Indonesians having better choice and better quality. The internet world is showing the way, and there will be some Filipino winners, and that we're investing in one now, that will be a standard for Southeast Asia and ASEAN, without a doubt, and that's the way forward. So, it's the guys who haven't been able to compete, who haven't been able to deal with globalization, that want the protection. And unfortunately, aviation is one of the worst areas of that. But, we'll find a way. As far as AirAsia, we always went out to say we're as good as anyone in the world. We never tried to protect our market. When new airlines came into Malaysia, we supported it. We didn't say don't open it up, etc. Consumer must choose, and consumer will decide who's the best, as long as it's fair competition. So, it's a great question you've asked me. If you look at old industries versus new industries, the new young Filipino companies and ASEAN companies are ready for competition and are dealing with guys who have much more capital, but yet are creating a market for themselves, as opposed to the older businesses who just don't want to open up their markets. Wow, that was a long answer to a short question. But I kind of liked my answer. So please send it to me so I can send it to everyone else in all the ASEAN heads of state.
What is your outlook for the Philippine
Aviation industry? A lot of it depends. A lot of it depends on the government.
Will
The
country benefit from it?
Yeah, a lot of the future. I think Filipino aviation has not progressed as well as a lot of industries in this country. It's ridiculous in a country with people who are so fantastic, who speak English, who are very hospitable. You have 2 million tourists versus Malaysia that has 24 million tourists. If anyone tells me that the aviation industry has been open and has succeeded, then they're talking rubbish. So a lot of it depends on that. A lot of it depends on infrastructure. Is there going to be a solution to NAIA? Can Clark be a secondary airport? And then there are fantastic regional airports around this part of the world. But you can have all the airports. If you don't have route rights, then Philippines still hasn't signed Protocol 5 and 6 yet, which is bizarre to me, because Philippines is the shining light of modernization and liberalization in economic terms in ASEAN. So you've got on one side really openness, transparency, everything, but a little bit closed. So if that's sorted out, I see lots of jobs being created here, lots of economic growth, and Philippines should become the powerhouse in ASEAN tourism and be like Thailand is. You have many Balis, you have many shopping areas, you have great food, probably not as good as our food, but you're catching up, and great people. There's no reason why Philippines shouldn't be up there in terms of tourism numbers.
But given how the government is working towards improving the aviation industry, do you foresee this happening in the next safe aviation?
Well, we had a fantastic meeting with who I think is one of the best ministers in the Philippines, Minister Jimenez, and he's a great many ministers around ASEAN should learn from him. He takes constructive criticism. He's not defensive. He's out there wanting to know the issues. He's proactive. He wants to do things differently, and he's our great white hope, right? But I know this country is improving every time you come. There's so much energy, and that SME conference really gave me a real buzz, to be honest. And I look at the most inspiring people in this conference are the volunteers. They've got the most energy, right? And that's what you've got the most of, young people. So, as she raises her hand at the back, I'm optimistic. Unfortunately, aviation has lagged the rest of the Philippine economy, but hey, it'll eventually change. And ministers such as Jimenez get the story. He said one really critical. He said, I'm not into what airline has what share. I'm into country share. I want to have a bigger share of ASEAN tourism, right? That's the right answer. Whoever gives it, who cares, right? If Emirates comes in and gives 2 million tourists to the Philippines and creates 4 million jobs, why not, right?
How has business been in terms of passenger volume?
Yeah, I think we've had a baptism of fire in the Philippines, right? But it's interesting. I got a lot of tweets just now of people loving our brand and loving our product. Despite one guy saying he had the worst experience of his life, but he still flies with us at the SME conference. But fourth quarter we'll make money, which is great, and I'm super confident going forward. I disagree with Joy, and ultimately it's the shareholders' responsibility. We're still on target for our IPO. We're putting in 5 planes next year. We don't want to announce what we're going to do, because as soon as it's on Rappler or Filipino Inquirer, another airline copies us. So let us do it, and then I'm bullish. I'm really bullish.
Could you talk about, you're still very confident about the Philippines, but your first entry here was a bad experience.
Yeah. Hey, look, my first marriage was a bad experience. That doesn't always work out, right? Doesn't always work out. By the way, I'm not married now. But, Thailand was a bad experience for the first 5 years, and now it's a booming company. So it takes time. And we're a long-term player. And, the ingestion of Zest was fraught with issues that we weren't aware of. It was the first time we acquired an airline. And, frankly, we weren't very good at it. Plus, lots of things, which I don't want to talk about again, played against us. But I'm predicting a big year for 2016, and I'm very confident Filipinos are going to love our product. Hey, we just won Asia's best cabin crew. For a low-cost carrier to beat SIA, Cathay Pacific, and all these other full-service carriers is not bad, right? So we're doing something good. We've won world's best low-cost carrier 7 years in a row. So I'm very determined. I really like this country. I like the people, and more people should come and see this country. But it's damn bloody tough to get to, right? Trying to organize a budget meeting here on Thursday was just everyone moaning. Oh, it's hard to get. Indonesians can't have a direct flight here. So, at the right time, you fly at 3 o'clock in the morning or something. So it's a challenge, but hey, nothing I've done or we've done is easy. But there's a big prize at the end of the day in the Philippines. We keep discovering new places and new things, right? It's amazing what you have to offer in this country.
So with the planned IPO, are you planning to redirect your focus on long-haul flights?
No, not yet, no. Let's sort out our short-haul business first. And, probably be the next CEO who looks at long-haul, not me. But short-haul there's a fantastic, you sit on doorsteps of China, Philippines, Japan, and Korea. And on the other side, you have a 700 million ASEAN market. Most of these people have not even come to the Philippines. Right? We started KL Kalibo. Most people thought I was on drugs when I started that route, right? And it's full route now.
But from the Philippines, you have access to the U.S. market.
Yeah. But hey, I got 600 million people first. When I ran out of that, then I look at the Americans. Complicated, right? America, dollar and security and Obama and Messi, right? Leave that to Pal.
To bring Air X here in the Philippines?
I was, but it's not something that is on the cards at the moment. I mean, where would we put a plane? You know, so we got to sort out the airport situation first. I still believe Clark, which is Ma'an's most favorite place in the world, is a real option, but we have to, you know, there needs a bit of infrastructure there first. Clark is a fantastic asset, and you know, if the Philippine government can put a fast train line, like Malaysia has the train line, so you're 100 kilometers away, more or less. The KLIA 2 airport in Malaysia is 70 kilometers, right? Train ride takes 25 minutes. There are airports that are further away, so Clark is a good option while you're deciding what to do in AIA. But we need to cut the time to get there.
Aside from infrastructure, what other hurdles do you see?
No, you know, there's two types of infrastructure. There's hard infrastructure and there's soft infrastructure. Soft infrastructure is get some routes, get some open skies going, right? I mean, you know, flights to Thailand are critical for Philippines because there's a massive hub there. And people who say, oh no, I don't like backpackers are crazy, because backpackers become CEOs. Half that room in there were backpackers, right? And if they have fond memories of the Philippines, you know, then they will do it. They will invest in here, they'll build businesses, etc., right? And it's all about networking. So Philippines has missed out a whole generation of potential people, right? I mean, you know, I made Desi dress up, but she's a backpacker, right? I got her to buy new clothes and so she can head up ASEAN, but you know, until 6 weeks ago she was a backpacker. So, but now she's in charge of the whole of ASEAN.